welcome back to TJ's Model Trains. We're actually going to do a video where you see my face for the first time this year. And I decided what better time than to discuss catalogs. As many of y'all know, the 125th anniversary big book came out, and Atlas also introduced their winter catalog for 2025. And we'll start with the Lionel first. As some of y'all probably seen RJ's video, I share the sentiment that they have built this thing up for so long to, to 125th anniversary. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome. Where's the awesomeness? Where's the greatness? Where's the insanity? I mean, maybe they do a volume 2 that's more exciting. I don't know. Maybe this catalog was really just based around the traditional size stuff and 027, and more interesting scale things come later. I don't know. I think the cool thing for me is some of the pre-war and post-war inspired things, like the S2 turbine that's painted up to look like the 671 turbine. That's pretty sweet. I do find that interesting. But then they turn around and follow that up with the Southern Pacific Pennsylvania one-off design S2 turbine that was never on the West Coast thing, whatever that is. And then the Chessie Greenbrier paint scheme that came out a couple years ago. Of course, they have to slap that on everything. We have the new black bonnet. It will be on everything from water towers to steam engines that weren't even around when the C&O would have had that paint scheme. We're going to see it on little 080s to ES44s. Who knows? Those things get beat to death, and I think that really does kind of ruin the interest in the uniqueness of those schemes, but that's neither here nor there. And then the Vanderbilt, totally cool. I think the Vanderbilt is obviously one of the most iconic streamlined steam engines ever produced, but it does kind of have a hard translation into the model industry because there's really only one way to do it. So that's where you then get the Polar Express and the glow-in-the-dark steam engines. And I understand there's got to be a market there for that stuff, but me personally, I don't see how I could spend that kind of money on a gimmick. It's cute if it's a Lion Chief engine, but $2,500, $2,000 scale steam engine that glows in the dark, I'm sorry, I don't play trains like that. I don't play with toys. I try to model and have a little bit more adult fun with it. But that's you and how you want to play your trains and spend your money. I just think it's kind of a waste. And then, we get into the rolling stock and the passenger cars. Oh my God. I grew up in a time where you could go buy an MTH 5-car set for $250. That was they had interiors but no people at that point, but $250, you're talking $50 a car. So you can buy a steam engine, which arguably their steam engines aren't terribly priced in some cases. Like the S2 turbine for $1,400, I think is a pretty good price. But you want to put cars with it, you're going to be pushing $2,500 or $3,000, and the 21-inch cars that come with it don't even have people inside of it. I don't know. The value there just doesn't click for me. Now, the one thing I know a lot of people are going to be excited about are the Vision Line. Well, there's a Vision Line one, but the Vision Line and the regular auto racks. They're super popular. I totally understand. People love them. They're scale. They're big. My only issue is when you compare dollar for dollar, what you get for what you get, you're going to pay twice as much for a Lionel one that is completely plastic with kinematic couplers that do not work well. They're top heavy and they're light, and you could spend half the money it would cost to get a Lionel one to get an Atlas one, and you're going to get a 2.5, 3-pound car that's all die-cast and it's more modern. I think Atlas today, especially in the terms of modern, takes the cake. You just cannot beat Atlas. Lionel can't compete with Atlas as far as pricing, quality, and variations of the equipment. Another thing that is in the catalog that people are going to go bananas for are the ES44s. That's the 5th time in 4 years that we've got ES44s. I know it's a very popular modern engine and there's not a lot of options there, but goodness, can't do something a little different. I know people are eagerly waiting the ET44s to show up. I'm waiting for MTH to announce their new tooling of items, and I will make my decisions on modern diesels then. But the problem is, I do have a lot of CSX and an S, The problem is Lionel, for whatever reason, just doesn't get paints right. I do kind of like the ES44 tooling. I think it's a good tooling. However, I can't justify $650, $700 on an engine that's going to be painted wrong or is going to have such thick clear coat that it literally has orange peel. That's just my thing. I have good luck with the paint scheme consistency between MTH and Atlas, and that's where I stand on that. I've had some Lionel ES44s, and they didn't stay long in the collection. But I mean, overall, I think there was some great ideas. Again, just poor execution, and I think that's just something people need to consider going forward is the pricing. Don't go bankrupt just to get a train. This is a hobby. This is for fun. Make your decisions wisely. I'm not telling you what you can and can't do with your money, but look at the secondary market. The secondary market has come down quite a bit in the last couple years. And you can go get these things for a lot less than what the catalog prices are. And for the most part, there's not that big of a difference in features. I mean, okay, maybe one has a different whistle steam or a better whistle steam or has a blowdown effect or cylinder smoke, but really does it matter that much? I would rather lose a whistle steam effect or some sort of steam effect and save $500 to $1,000. But that's just me. But I think overall, the Lionel catalog's cool. It's interesting. There's like one or two items that I would consider. Maybe it's not really my cup of tea. I think they're very cool and they do have potential. Now to the Atlas catalog. Again, Atlas knows their clientele. They know their market. They brought out U30Cs, Jeep 40s, Trainman Dash 8s again, and some really good rolling stock. And then you look at the prices. You can get a Trainman level Dash 8 with $400 or $500 MSRP. You get a decent dealer discount, 10 to 15% off. You're half almost of what a Lionel ES44 costs. I get it. I know a Dash 8 and an ES44 are not the same. Lionel doesn't have a good Dash 8 or any Dash 8 tooling. It's comparable in a sense. And the Trainman stuff will now have Proto 3. So you're going to have the smoke. You're going to have LED lighting and all these features that are just as comparable to an ES44 or a Dash 8 or Dash 9 or whatever. Think about those options. I know a lot of people just hate DCS or they hate, Lionel or Cab 3 or Legacy. I don't know. Maybe it's time to branch out a little bit. Try something that's half the price and see what you think that's going to have the same features. And then the rolling stock. You're going to have the two-bay center flow hoppers. I'm personally going to have to go after the CSX and the N&W. I think they're a little pricey considering that they're just Premier. I'm hoping that for the price, they are going to have the new roller bearing trucks for Premier on there. I guess we'll see how that plays out. The box cars, the 60-foot box cars, these are awesome. The BA-EX, definitely getting two of those. The UP one, I got to do some research on Timeline or Vintage and Era, where they're from. But I do like that paint scheme. I think it's pretty awesome. And then the 33,000 gallon tank cars, that's wonderful. They're going to be roller bearing trucks, great detail, and they're $70 MSRP. That's less than what Lionel wants for a Weaver coal hopper. It's hard for me to justify the pricing when you can get this over here for less than what you can get over there. But I think overall I'm pretty excited with the Atlas catalog. The Lionel catalog, I think, really just left a lot on the table. There definitely was some things that I was expecting there to be, and it would have been kind of interesting, and they just didn't do it. So I guess we'll see what they do for Volume 2. But then, again, Atlas, I try not to be biased, but Atlas just makes a really good product for my needs and what I want in the hobby. I like to model. I don't like really playing with toy trains on the floor. That's not my style. I don't play with the fantasy schemes. I just never been that way. And I know I get a lot of hate for that sentiment, but I've been saying it for years, as well as some of the other guys I know that get the same heat that I get. Lionel no longer makes a quality enough product for the prices that they charge. And I wish it was the other way around, because for the most part, Lionel used to be really cool. They used to make really awesome things, and it was held to a higher pedigree. And they just aren't that anymore. That's what just sucks for me, is it does kind of suck to see such a once great company not have it anymore. But maybe they'll change. Maybe they'll be different in the future. I just think it's going to take people not buying for them to realize that the prices are just insane. I hope this video is well received. I know there's going to be some hate comments that I'm hating on Lionel. I'm not hating on Lionel. I'm just giving my honest opinions about it. And I think they could do better. That's the biggest thing I want from the hobby, really, is it just to be better for everyone. I think, there's a lot of alienation going on. Oh, you like MTH, or oh, you only like Atlas. I'm a Lionel guy. That's just kind of stupid. I'm just giving my honest opinions that I just don't agree with the pricing, and I don't agree with the quality of the product. I know a lot of people, that's where they're at now. They don't pre-order Lionel because they're scared that it's going to look bad. It's not going to be painted correctly, and they don't want to stick it to a dealer. So they'll take their chances waiting to see one when it comes in and maybe get it or maybe not. So that's the thing, is I just think they could do a little bit better, and it would be better for everybody in the hobby. But we'll see you on the next video. Like I said, I'm going to hopefully be able to do the WTIU comparing to the base 3. I want to do a layout update video, kind of see where everything's at, a little bit more in depth. But if you got any comments about the catalogs or your opinions, I'd love to hear it. And we'll see y'all on the next video.
See you next